Hey guys, how are y'all doing today? I am reviewing Zombies versus Unicorns. So Zombies vs. Unicorns is an anthology edited by Holly Black and Justine Larbalestier. This review isn't going to be my typical reviews that I've done in the past since it is an anthology. Let's start this review first with my overall feelings for the book. So Zombies vs. Unicorns, as you can see, is for ages 14 and up. I didn't realize it's for older teenagers. So if you're thinking of giving this to your 7-year-old niece or nephew who loves unicorns or zombies or both, I wouldn't get them this. Not yet. It deals with mature content, including violence, swearing. Just FYI, still really good. And I love Holly and Justine. Holly and Justine does intros before each story, and I love they're bickering towards each other, and Holly is trying to maintain maturity to the zombies versus unicorn debate, and Justine is not having any of it, and I thought that was hilarious. Zombies versus unicorns, the stories alternate between unicorns and zombies, and obviously you can read them out of order. You don't have to though. That's the overall lowdown of the book. Let's get started with the individual stories, and I'll give you my overall readable or unreadable ratings for each one. Let's start off with The Highest Justice by Garth Nix. Garth was on Team Unicorn. It was quite short actually compared to the rest of the stories in the book. I want to say it's kind of like Snow White / Macbeth, but with unicorns, and you would think it would be awesome, but I found it kind of flat, unfortunately, so I'll have to give his story an unreadable rating. The next story is by Elia Dawn Johnson, Love Will Tear Us Apart. Elia was on Team Zombie. This was a more interesting story. What fell flat for me were the zombies. The zombies in her story weren't very zombie-like. I would have to give her story an unreadable rating. I wasn't feeling the characters and just kind of fell flat for me. Next story is Team Unicorn, Naomi Novik, The Purity Test, and I really enjoyed Naomi's story. A lot of fun, kind of poking fun at unicorns and where they come from, possibly coming from fairyland. Her story was about a unicorn needing help from a virgin to save baby unicorns. I thought it was a lot of fun, funny, gave her a readable rating for her story. Next story, Team Zombie, is Carrie Ryan's, I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, Begoniaville? I don't think that's right. Carrie Ryan's story was amazing. Love Carrie Ryan's story. Out of all the zombie stories in the anthology, Carrie Ryan's by far my favorite. It was intense, it was dark, there was a little bit of a love story in there. There were running zombies, which I love. Carrie Ryan did an excellent job. Readable rating for her for sure. The next story is 1,000 Flowers by Margo Lanagan. I really enjoyed her story as well. She is on Team Unicorn, and what surprised me about Margo's story was for a unicorn story, I didn't realize how dark and creepy and hauntingly beautiful. Yes, hauntingly beautiful. Those two words I know sound cheesy together, but it's true. It was really creepy and dark, and I really enjoyed it. Readable, of course, for that. Some mature stuff in there also, so yeah. The next story is by Maureen Johnson, The Children of the Revolution. Her story was a lot of fun, very funny, pokes fun at pop culture references. I kind of imagined Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt and Scientology, and there was kind of made fun of, I think. It was just a lot of fun, and at the end it was kind of sad. I loved all of that. Readable rating. The next story is The Care and Feeding of Your Baby Killer Unicorn by Diana Peterfreund. I love Diana's story. Diana's story takes place in the same world as Rampant. There are killer unicorns and unicorn hunters. Just loved the relationship between the baby unicorn and the main character in the book, and there was a little bit of a love story in there, which was great, and it was just great getting back into the world. Out of the Team Unicorn stories, Diana was by far my favorite one out of the bunch. Readable rating. The next story is by Scott Westerfeld, Inoculata. I did have high expectations going into Scott Westerfeld's story because I love Scott Westerfeld. Wrote the Ugly series, which I adore. Unfortunately, I have to give Scott an unreadable rating. Yeah, story itself kind of fell flat for me. I love the characters at the beginning, but then as the story progressed, they made questionable decisions, and maybe it's me being, you know, a grown-up. I don't know, it didn't seem right, and I could not agree with those decisions. It's about evolution and kind of surpassing the previous generation before it, and I love the idea of that and where he was going, but how it all came about, I don't know. Did not do it for me, unfortunately. Dear. Next story is by Meg Cabot, Princess pretty pants. As you can tell by the title of that story, she is on Team Unicorn, and I love Meg's story about the unicorn. It kind of pokes fun at the really cute unicorns. Meg's unicorn has like lavender eyes and farts lavender scent and rainbows and cupcakes, and it's just beautiful and you want to cry at its beauty. Her unicorns are kind of the opposite of Diana's. Her story was a lot of fun. It's about a girl who gets a unicorn for her birthday. Surprisingly, at first was very disappointed in getting a unicorn, which I do not get, because if you get a unicorn for your birthday, you say thank you. The next story is by Cassandra Clare, Cold Hands. I love Cassandra Clare, the Mortal Instrument series, yes. I was going into it thinking I would get something Mortal Instrument-ish, and it's not really. The writing was really well done. Cassandra Clare, if I did not say already, is on Team Zombie. It has more of a romantic tone, more serious tone. It kind of fell flat for me though. It was kind of sad a little bit, and sweet, sad and sweet, sweet and sad. So I give it an unreadable rating. Unfortunately, I know my two kind of favorite authors got unreadable. The next story is by Kathleen Dewey, The Third Virgin, Team Unicorn. I really thought this was an interesting story, very different. It's about a suicidal unicorn and who... I wouldn't have thought unicorns could be suicidal, but this one in her story is. Her unicorns can both heal as well as kill. Not your usual kind of stabbing, you know, stab and you die. Kind of sucks the life out of them. And the unicorn is, of course, ridden with guilt. And I give it a readable rating. It was very different, weird, dark. Next story is by Larbalestier, Prom Night. I really enjoyed this story. It was a lot of fun. It's one of those there are only kids left during this apocalyptic time. It's about kind of normalizing the situation, just trying to get things back to normal, how things used to be. Kids are just trying to make it work and just trying to have fun, and it was just a great story to end the anthology. So I really enjoyed Libba's story, a readable rating. That's my review for Zombies versus Unicorns, and I really enjoyed it. Give it an overall readable rating. There weren't too many unreadable stories. There were a lot of really good, surprising, dark ones that I really enjoyed, and it's just a great collection to have if you love zombies and unicorns. So that's everything, guys. I will do my in conclusion video this Saturday, and we're gonna have my friends Team Zombie and Team Unicorn. Anyways, guys, that is my review. Definitely check it out if you want to. Really good. I really liked it. I think Team Unicorn brought down the house on Team Zombies in this book. Who's gonna win? I don't know. I think it's pretty tied up right now. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good night.